Howdy y'all, Alchemist here. Just a little quick video before our regular Wednesday video about caring. And this week my friends at SLB Drinks, it's their final push for their Riley's charity drive. And I'd like to ask that any of y'all who watch my videos take a little bit of time to go to slbcares.org and buy just one $5 ticket for this really great charity opportunity. The guys at SLB, Trent and Kurt, they care a lot, and they put a lot of heart and soul into this charity drive, and a lot of time and a lot of heart. And I really want all y'all to help them meet their goal this year. And one $5 ticket gives you the opportunity to win one of, I think the number is up, Trenton said, to over 300 bottle opportunities. Just one $5 ticket. And there's some pretty nice high-end bottles. I think $5 can win you the entire Weller lineup, one $5 ticket. I believe Trenton and Kurt also said that it can win you, if I'm not mistaken, I think someone even donated the new Jack Daniels Tanyard Hill. And all y'all who watch me know that I'm a Jack Daniels fan. I would love to win that one myself. So let's dive into our wallets and our stash, our whiskey stash somewhere, and grab at least $5, if not more. You can buy as many tickets as you want, and buy a ticket, buy more tickets if you can afford it, and let's donate to this very, very worthy cause and help SLB Drinks out. Again, it's slbcares.org, and let's give them a hand on this one. And just to let you all know, any of y'all who watch me, you do know that my favorite local charity, my favorite local distillery is Black Fork Farms. And I did snag a couple of the Black Fork Farms signature bottles, and I shipped them out there to SLB Drinks. So if you buy a $5 ticket, you know a signature series Black Fork Farms bottle is worth a heck of a lot more than $5. So who knows? You might just win one of my favorite distillery bottles from Black Fork Farms. So again, dig in. You can probably spare a little from your whiskey stash to buy at least one $5 ticket, if not a couple more. So this Halloween week, let's dig in. Let's help SLB Drinks out a little bit, and let's help them meet their goal. And now, stay tuned for the Alchemist Wednesday edition of our Halloween week. Cheers, y'all. Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Haze and Barrel Craftworks here on the Haze and Barrel Homestead and our humble whiskey room. I'm the Alchemist. And welcome back to Halloween week here in the homestead. And if you all tuned in on Monday, you saw our Smoke Wagon 2025 Halloween bottle video. We had a little bit of fun with that one. And Wednesday now, we have another, what I thought was an appropriate Halloween week bottle. And what I've got for you is Jim Beam Devil's Cut, which I thought was plenty appropriate for Halloween week. Many of y'all know what Angel Share is. If you don't, the Angel Share is the part of the whiskey that evaporates every year. And that's appropriately known as the angel share. It's the part that goes up to the angels. Well, if you're not familiar of what the devil's cut is, well, that's the part that basically goes, holy crap, that's the part that basically goes nowhere. It stays into the sides of the bottle, or the barrel, I mean, and it's in that wood. And Jim Beam has come up with a process to extract that whiskey out of that wood and bottle it to come up with the Devil's Cut to give us our number 2 bottle for our Halloween week this year. And the first thing, the whiskey then obviously is the typical Jim Beam mash bill, that high corn mash bill. And the first thing I notice on this bottle is it's got a pretty nice color to it. I mean, you just look at how dark that is. I'm even, boy, it's pretty thick rolling down there too. I think of I've got a Jim Beam. Let's see, a Jim Beam Double Oak, and I set that up next to that, and you just look at how that color compares on those two. It's pretty comparable to a Double Oak. And I don't know, I've got the Jim Beam. Let's slide this one over here. Let's put the Devil's Cut in the middle. I've even got a 7-year there. That's some pretty similar juice right there. All of those, and so this is what's extracted right out of the barrel. It's a nice color to it, and I think they proof this. So 90 proof on this bottle. So let's see what we get for the juice that's extracted right out of the wood. And I kind of left this part of the band on there. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it says right on that band, extracted from the barrel walls. So instead of pulling that off, I cut it around there and I just pull the top off so I can struggle to get that cap off in front of y'all. I left that strap on there so you can see that it's extracted right out of the barrel walls. Okay, what's interesting to me is I got a touch more sweetness on the nose right away than what I thought I would get. I was not expecting that level of sweetness. To be honest with you, I was expecting more barrel, but I get a bit more sweetness. So I'm going to go in for a sip right away. Okay, that's not harsh at all. That's actually pretty inviting. It's got nice, and I'm a barrel guy, so I'll take that in mind as I review this a little bit, because it has pleasant barrel to it. A pleasant amount of barrel. And it does have that nice corn sweetness to it that I nose right at the front. That again surprises me really when I think of this extracted from the barrel walls. Now I know that it's from the barrel that you get the sugars, out of that white oak. But in my mind, for some reason, I had in my mind that it's you're going to get more of the oak tannins perhaps, and more oakiness, and maybe even a touch of, I don't know, acidity. It was just kind of stuck in my head, but the sweetness on the nose surprises me. But there is a little bit. Now that I took that first sip, there is just a bit, perhaps, of those oak tannins, a touch on the nose now. But it's still sweet on the palate. Still a nice barrel taste. And a nice, very nice barrel spice to it. And it's a cinnamon all the way. Like a fresh ground cinnamon spice all the way on that. But I will have to say on the back of the palate, this dries up more with a little bit of oak tannin, oak barrel, but more of the tannin oak than the nice oak barrelness that I usually get from like a double oak or something a little bit more oaky that's aged a little bit longer than what I think of. And again, to me, it's not unpleasant, just a different flavor profile. If you're someone who goes for oak or someone who doesn't go for oakiness. But out of curiosity, if you guys will bear with me and want to stick around just a little bit longer, out of curiosity, what I want to see is, what is this compared to their Jim Beam double oak? Just out of curiosity, what? I didn't plan on doing this, but just the way that came out, so sweet like that. I like a double oak because of the sweetness in a double oak. And so now in my head, I'm curious, how does that come out? So kind of a quick, unfair review, but very curious. Sweeter, more spice, more oak barrel spice. Interesting. More barrel, more straight oak barrel, and a little bit of that same barrel spice. It's just more pronounced here, and actually this one, how well pronounced it is on the Devil's Cut is nice, not being blinded. I'd be interested in how it would change for me if I blinded this, which I might have to do sometime. But how pronounced it is nice. But I get the same thing on this one. I'd have to say a similar viscosity And it seems in that first sip perhaps a little bit less sweet. And I didn't plan on doing this, so I didn't give myself my usual cucumber water like I like to do to fully cleanse my palate. So this might not be 100% fair. Yeah, this is definitely sweeter. It sure seems like just doing it like this. But again, sometime I might have to just blind those. This seems sweeter. That cinnamon barrel spice seems to come out much more pronounced, which is pleasant. It seems that the finish dries the back of the palate about the same. Quite nice. I have to say I like this one. That Devil's Cut, again, for the price point, you know, that's right around that $25 or so here in my small town, South Dakota. So that's a pretty decent one for our bottle number 2 here in our Haze and Craftworks Halloween week. So as you all know, I'd love to have you all coming back around. So please hit that like, subscribe, and that bell. And again, as you all know, please take it easy, because I love to have you come back around. Don't drink and drive. Cheers.